Hey everyone, it's Zack Beck. Being environmentally conscious is usually associated with spending more money. People think they need a brand new Tesla in their garage, solar panels on their roof, and organic food on their table. But what if I told you there are simple steps that you can take right now that will not only be beneficial for our environment, but they will help you from a financial perspective. So what I want to do in this video is break down in detail some of these simple steps that you can take right now so you can allow yourself to actually make the most of the situation to help you save money, but also help preserve our planet in the process. So let's take our time, dive in the details, and jump into it right now. As we get started, I want to be really clear that I'm not here to push a political agenda on you or to tell you that you need to become an environmentalist or anything to that extent. I believe in balance and moderation in life and hopefully sharing strategies that allow you to achieve your financial goals by making wise decisions in the present. And it just so happens that some of these things that are going to be beneficial for you from a financial perspective also can help our environment. And to understand this also simultaneously through an environmental lens, there are a few things I think are important to be aware of. According to NASA, 2021 was the warmest year on record. And 6 of the warmest years that have been recorded have all occurred since 2014. So clearly we're seeing a trend going when it comes to the heat of our planet, and this could be associated with a number of factors. I'm not here to get into the science of that or try and debate that with anyone. Like I said, I'm not here to push a political agenda. I just think that there might be some things that we could do that not only help our planet, but also help us from a financial perspective. So let's dive into those right now. When it comes to saving money and also benefiting our environment, our house is actually one of the key areas that we need to look at and how we're actually utilizing not only our appliances, but other things that are going on. And one of the things that's a very easy step that you and I can take is utilizing LED light bulbs. According to the US Department of Energy, LED light bulbs use 75% electricity than incandescent bulbs. And if you actually take a step and replace 5 of your most frequently used light bulbs in your house with LED, what you'll find is that over the course of a year, you'll save about $75 in electricity costs. So this is a very simple step that you can take. Buying those light bulbs is going to be less expensive over the course of the life, and it's going to ultimately save you some money and benefit us a little bit as well from an environmental perspective by utilizing less energy. An easy way that you can save money, benefit your health, and also help the environment to an extent is if you actually go away from single-use plastic items, specifically when it relates to water. It actually costs 2,000 times more for bottled water in comparison to just regular tap water that you might get from your home. Now, it's essential that you drink clean water, and getting out of the tap is okay, but preferably you want something that maybe has a bit more filtration going on. But if you take the step of utilizing filtered water, maybe by utilizing a Brita filter or you have some other extent, in comparison to just those single-use plastic bottles, it's going to save you money over the long run, and it's going to be beneficial for the environment as well. And on the topic of water, there are other approaches that we can take. When it comes to actually running the dishwasher, if you utilize cold water, it's going to cost less money. If you utilize cold water when you're actually washing your clothes, it's going to cost less. Think about when you're brushing your teeth every single day. It actually utilizes a full gallon of water for every minute that you leave the faucet running. So if you're actually brushing your teeth, maybe keep your faucet turned off and then turn it back on only when necessary. I know these things seem a little bit small in general, but not only will they help the environment by utilizing less energy, by utilizing less water, but it'll save you money overall by keeping your water bill lower and your electricity bill lower. In today's society, utilizing our electronics is essential. Whether it's your phone, tablet, or computer, there's always a need for us to utilize it for generally our work, but it's also important for us to keep them charged. But one thing you want to look at is that if you continuously keep your phones or your products charged, it's going to cost some money. And what you're going to find is that energy consumed by electronic devices in standby mode that are plugged in generally adds about 5 to 10% towards your electricity bill every single month. This can tally up significantly depending upon how many devices you have plugged in. So a really simple step that you and I can take is to unplug our devices when they're not needing to be plugged in, and that's going to help lower our energy bill, and it's actually be beneficial for the environment. Now, it's important that obviously you have your phone charged so you can take that important call or make that important email or whatever it is, but you just want to be mindful if you're 100%, you don't always need to be charging your device. I know I fall into this all the time because I'm afraid that if my phone gets uncharged or if I don't have enough battery power, I might miss an important thing related to work, but just be a bit mindful of that. It's just these tiny little things I'm talking about that will help carve out a little bit of money by saving a little bit along the way, and also benefits our environment simultaneously. Kind of a win-win, and you don't have to be an environmentalist or anything to that extent. You're just being smart. Another easy thing that you and I can do is avoid utilizing paper towels. Generally, an average pack of 8 paper towels costs about $14, and if you're continuously buying that over the course of the year, it can cost you about $182 for the average family of 4. Whereas if you buy a reusable dish towel that's maybe a $6 investment, it's a one-time investment, and you don't need to buy it on an ongoing basis. So if you actually ditch paper towels and go instead of things that you can use repeatedly over time, that's going to save you money and be beneficial for the environment. Very simple step you can take, not something that requires much thought, but it's very easy to do. One of the most important things you can do to help the environment and your wallet is to recycle the like button for the YouTube algorithm. I'm just kidding, but if you wouldn't mind tapping that like button, that would help the channel out immensely. It would mean a lot to myself personally. So if you wouldn't mind doing that, please help push this video. Other people might need to hear it. One of the highest annual expenses that most people have is their transportation, specifically if you're driving a car. Now, in our new society in this day and age after the pandemic, we found that many more people are allowed to work remotely or have alternative work schedules that might not require them to commute into the office, because the average cost for a family for a car is $8,500 per year. But if you actually were to do something differently, maybe you can bike to work or not do that, having a bike on an annual basis costs about $350 a year. Now, there are obviously benefits to not having to drive your car from a health perspective if you're exercising instead to get into the office, but if you're able to also work from home, that can be beneficial as well. What I want to talk about a little bit is that if you can find alternative ways to avoid having to drive, it's going to hopefully reduce some stress, anxiety, and hopefully benefit the environment simultaneously, but most importantly, your pocketbook. I remember growing up, my dad rode his bike to and from work every single day, and that was really impressive to me. I knew that he wasn't necessarily thinking about it from an environmental perspective, maybe he was to an extent, but he knew that it was good for his health and it was actually beneficial for the pocketbook because he was cutting down on gas, having to have the extra car, and all those other things. So it's just something that you can look at depending upon your work situation, depending upon where you live in proximity to your office. You could consider an alternative in comparison to your car. Now, I'm not saying that everyone who drives a car shouldn't drive a car or anything to that extent. I'm just saying in your instance, in your specific situation, if you're able to work remotely and not have to drive, that could save you a good amount of money and also some stress as well. Because think about it, who really wants to be sitting in traffic on the freeway? Who wants to be spending majority of their time sitting down in a car when you could either be exercising on your way to work, or you don't even have to drive or ride your bike into work? You could just work from home, which would even be easier as well. Now, I don't talk too much about nutrition on this channel, as I believe that is an inherently very personal situation that you have to decide what is the best for you to eat. So one thing I can share with you is a couple of things I personally like to do. I believe in balance and moderation, not only when it comes to my finances, but also when it comes to my nutrition. So I try to make sure that I do everything I can to have a well-rounded diet that has a real strong focus on vegetables, fruits, lean proteins, and everything I can to have whole grains, and trying to balance things out with also healthy fats like, olive oil and all that kind of stuff. So if you find ways in which you can cut back on certain areas of your nutritional diet that might actually be less beneficial for the environment and more expensive, maybe if you consume a lot of meat and those kinds of things, I'm not saying to cut back entirely on that, but maybe balance it out. It could simultaneously be beneficial for your health, your environment, and also your pocketbook. Also, if you like to grow fruits and vegetables, if you have the means to do so in your current house, that could be beneficial and maybe even cut down some costs as well. But what you're going to find is that that's one area of our life that we could actually make a substantial difference in if we change some certain habits. Now, I'm not looking at that solely from an environmental perspective or even from a financial perspective. I just want people to be healthy in general. I'm not here to push any sort of nutritional vision on you. I'm not telling you to become vegan or vegetarian or to do anything other than that. Whatever you're doing right now, that's totally cool by me. I just want to say that there's certain steps I take in my life that help cut down expenses but also benefit me from a health standpoint, which helps my life as a whole, and hopefully it can be beneficial for you as well. So if you could envision actually taking a few of these steps, you can see how it adds up over time, because we're looking at small little things that actually are making a big difference not only in your pocketbook, but also could help the environment a little bit along the way. And one of the things I didn't talk about too much, but if you actually own appliances and you can actually change that out and get more environmentally or energy efficient appliances, that could be a substantial change for you. But that does have a required investment up front. And you heard I didn't talk about getting solar panels or buying an electric vehicle or anything like that. I want to see things that you can do and big steps that you can take right now on the little things that you're just doing on a daily basis. So whether you're trying to use cold water, use less water, not use as many single-use plastic items, replace your paper towels with dish towels, unplug your devices when they're not in the wall, maybe change a little bit of your habits when it comes to your transportation or nutrition, and do some certain things that might actually benefit you overall holistically and also financially. So then you're going to find if you actually take a lot of these steps and add them up, that could be hundreds of dollars that you save on a monthly basis, which could then be invested and then go right into the stock market as well. Now, I know I'm not going to please everyone with this video. Some people might be upset that I'm talking about the environmental issues. Some people might think I'm not going deep enough and talking about what is necessary to make a change. I'm just saying, from a balanced perspective and from a financial perspective, if we can make smart decisions right now that also have a fringe benefit to our society as a whole, I think that's a good thing that we can do. And the easier something is, the simpler it is. Just like if we have a simple investment strategy and we have a simple approach towards our daily habits of how we eat, how we drink, how we utilize our natural resources, that can really have a long-term benefit to our society, and I think that's a good thing. So I'm hoping that that is helpful for you and you're able to make some wise decisions now that might benefit your pocketbook as well. With all that being said, I'd like to thank you for watching the video today. If you wouldn't mind, please tap the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Help push this video to other people who might need to hear it. Furthermore, if you have any questions, please comment down below. I'd love to interact with you, get to know you, do any research on your behalf, so that way you can make well and wise informed decisions moving forward that help you achieve your financial goals. Also, if you wouldn't mind, please subscribe to the channel. That would mean a lot to myself personally, as I do everything I can to create positive content that makes a positive impact in your life by encouraging you and myself to lead lives of meaning and purpose, all while maintaining balance and moderation. And if you do subscribe to the channel, please tap the notification bell. That will notify you every time I post a video, which I do on a weekly basis. Once again, I'd like to thank you for watching the video today. I hope you have a wonderful remainder of your day. Talk to you next time.